It's okay to want to earn money as a content creator. And if it's something that you want to do full time, it's always good to start thinking about it sooner rather than later. The problem is that there are multiple different ways to make money. And when you do start making money, you're going to see large fluctuations each month, which is going to make you unsure about when to go full time because there's financial instability. And so the best way I have found to combat all of this is to basically have multiple revenue streams. And so in this video, I'm going to talk about some of those. I'm going to talk about the pros and the cons and how you can get started today with all of those so you can be on your way to earning a stable income and you can quit that job that you hate and go full time as soon as possible. And so the first and arguably the easiest way to make money is through affiliate marketing. This is where you have a link somewhere and if someone clicks it and they buy, you take a percentage of the final sale. The problem is getting people to actually click your link and convert is another question. You maybe have to promote it a little bit, which can feel salesy. And sometimes the percentages on the affiliate programs aren't actually that good. And so in order to make quite a bit of money from it, you have to convert a lot of people. So this is something that you can start today, but it's a long-term game. And so my advice for getting started here is think about the services that you use, your audience might use, and go to their website and look for their affiliate programs and sign up. What you want to then do is maybe pick 4 or 5 that you like the most that have the best affiliate program in terms of the percentages, and then put those in your description of your videos. And if one of your videos is around like a certain subscription specifically, or you mention it, put that link right at the top of your description so people can see it. The key thing here is just aligning the products or services that you're promoting in your description, either to the video or to your overall audience, in that they would actually use these things. And my final tip here is to go after subscription-based services for the affiliate programs. These are far more lucrative than product. Generally, when people say affiliate schemes, you think Amazon affiliates and they pay like 2-3%. You get fuck all on products. But if you go to the subscription services, so if you look at the ones in my description, a lot of these are paying out 20 to 30% recurring each month every time someone subscribes. And some of these subscriptions are $20 to $30. So if someone signs up and they're paying $20 a month, I'll take 20-30% of that. So $6 to $10 around that somewhere. And over time, if these are subscriptions that people are literally using for years, and I can just continue to push people over to them, I will start making lots of nice, pure passive income without having to do anything. And so next is ad revenue. This is what YouTube pays you to run ads on your videos. So all of those ads that you get when you watch other people's videos, basically brands and advertisers come to YouTube. They want to run ads on the platform and they will pay a CPM rate. This is like cost per 1,000 views. And so that might be £20. So for every 1,000 views, that brand pays £20. You will then get, I think it's 50% of that, which is the RPM. So you'll take £10 of that. So if you get 1,000 views on a video and your RPM is £10, you'll take £10. The pros of this, again, this is like super passive income. You don't really have to do anything. And over time, if you have some big hitting videos, you will make decent passive income on this with this method. My main video that has about 400,000 views, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think I've made about £2,700 from that video. And that is just keeping on going like that. And if I get more viral videos, they will all do the same. And imagine just having a few videos that are just popping off over 4, 5, 6 years. This is where you start to make a lot of passive income. But this, again, just takes time to build. The negatives of this are really around, firstly, the RPM. It's all niche dependent. Some niches, basically the CPM to the advertiser is higher. Finance niche pays really well. You're probably looking at anything where it's a product or service that is sold to businesses, so B2B, any consumer related products. So if you make education around consumer focused content, the CPM is generally lower, which means the RPM is lower, and that's kind of out of your control. Don't focus your niche or content just because of the RPM. Just focus on what you are passionate about. In order to get started with this, you do need to be a YouTube partner, which it was 4,000 hours and I still believe it is. They did release a 3,000 hour qualification, but I don't think that qualifies you for ads. So you do need to hit 4,000 watch hours. This is quite difficult. Again, you just need one big hitter. It took me months and months to get it because none of my videos were like going like that, and one did, and then I got it in like 2 days. So you just need that one video, and that will get you across the line. It's far easier to do as well with the long form hours than it is the shorts. The shorts, you need so many, it's really hard to do. One little thing I also will add here is when you do qualify, make sure you sign up and verify all of your details straight away. I didn't, and I kept getting this notification saying I needed to, and I was like, whatever. And then it just turned off my ad revenue. After like a month, I lost about £400. So make sure that you sign up and verify all your details straight away. Next up on the list is brand deals / partnerships. This is where you make the big boy money. This is where a brand comes to you and they want to basically promote their product or service through your page, usually via a video. So on YouTube, you'll see people do fully dedicated videos, or you'll see like an integration in the video. Somewhere on TikTok and Instagram, generally people do full videos. The pros of this is that, as I said, brands can pay a lot of money. On my TikTok and Instagram, I will charge anywhere between 3 to 5, 6 grand of TikTok video. I shit you not. I've made 5 grand off one TikTok multiple times. Like, people are like, yeah. And I keep making these brand partnership videos telling you, I mean, it's not you lot who are watching this video, but the reason why I keep making the brand partnership videos is because I think people just don't know what they don't know. I make them because you make peas on brand partnerships. But nobody seems to like really watch those videos that much. But I will still keep making them because that's where you make the money. Like, because traditional advertising, traditional marketing is expensive. And so brands are coming to influencers to do the promotion. And even though influencers are not really charging as much as they should be, brands still have a lot of money. They spend a lot of money on marketing, and influencers are just the new way to do that. And if you know your worth and you know your value, you can charge quite a lot. However, there do come some downsides of this, some negatives, like you need to make sure that you're promoting something that is, good audience fit. You're not selling yourself or your soul, because people might call you a sellout. You do have to also sometimes manage the logistics of dealing with the brand if you don't have a manager, like, contracting, negotiation. There's a lot of just stuff that you just have to learn as you go along, and lots of mistakes will be made, money will be lost. Every creator has to go through it, and there's not really much education on it, hence why I'm trying to do more education on it. And so it is a little bit of a minefield, and brands know that, and they will take advantage of you if you don't know your worth or what you do. I know some of you might be sitting there like, well, I've got like no followers, like people aren't gonna sponsor me. Yeah, I get that. I've said this before, and I've addressed this before. Start listing out brands, whether they be small, medium or large, that you want to work with, that are the right fit for your content and your audience, and just start figuring out how to build those relationships. How can you get in front of the brand? Don't bother sending them a cold email if you've got 200 subscribers. They're not going to reply. You need to figure out how you can build an in-person relationship with them somehow, some way. Go watch my vlog video from last week. That shows you how I do it. My last piece of advice and wisdom is, you are worth more than a crappy free product that costs $50. Don't say yes to stuff just because you want a free product unless they are a big brand or actually going to use it. Like, stop accepting free tat. We're all human. We all like free stuff, but you're better than that. Don't do it. Next up is UGC. This stands for user generated content. This is similar to the brand deal partnerships, but you don't actually post the content on your own channels. You're just usually making it for the own brand channels, and usually they run ads here. This is good if you're a smaller creator, because it's obviously not relying on you having a sizable following, and they're just looking for you to create content for them. The pros of this, as I've said, is that you don't need a large following, and you can actually build some healthy relationships with brands that keep coming back and give you some repeatable income. The challenges of this, though, is that it's quite competitive. You need to be able to create content that appeals to brands. So your kind of standard of editing and production value needs to be good. You also might find that you don't get paid too much. This is a little bit of a race to the bottom as well, because generally the people doing UGC I find that they don't really know their true worth, and it's again just charging less and less and less, and brands are taking advantage of this. But you can get started with this today by kind of just creating a portfolio. There are probably a number of websites that you can start showcasing some of what you think is your best content, what niches you would specialize in, and again, just build out a list again of the brands that not necessarily is related to your audience this time, but just ones that you like, that you have just a good feeling about. And don't bother going for the big ones because they're just going to be much harder to reach, and they'll probably prefer to use people that already are known. So if you just go for the small to medium-sized brands, when you feel like your content is good enough and you can offer value and you can ultimately sell, start pitching yourself to these brands. Next up is digital products. This could be anything from, PDFs, one-pagers, templates, LUTs, anything that's just a digital download. Courses fall under this as well, the bad word courses, and these are where people essentially just purchase like one time and they get something in return, usually some information and value. The pros of this is there's very low barrier to entry here. You could literally set up a digital product tomorrow, packaging up some valuable information that you have and put a price on it and start selling it. The problem here is that you might feel like, again, you're being a bit of a sellout, like you've just started creating content and now you're selling to your audience as well. I would tread very carefully here. Maybe do it, but don't necessarily promote it too much. You could just put it, again, a link in your description kind of near the bottom and point people there if they ask for it. And how I would start would be look at like low ticket stuff. So anything from $5, $10, $15, $20. Ask your audience, like, is there anything that you would be willing to pay for? Like, what are their pain points? And essentially what you're trying to do is as I've just alluded to there, is just package up some information in a digital download that solves a pain point for your audience. And how much information and how you display and showcase that information and what format might dictate the price. And so if you start at low ticket, then move up to medium ticket, $50 to $100, and then high ticket, like $300 plus. If you've got lots of low tickets because you've been kind of practicing and experimenting, seeing what works and doesn't, you can start then stacking these together. And then when you've done more products and more products and more products, you know what people like, you know what people will pay for, and then you can start selling like, a course or something that's $300-400 to your audience because it's just really good. And trust me, I know people who have a lot smaller audience than me on Instagram and TikTok, but they go hard on selling digital products and courses and they make shit tons of money. I just spat there. They do like 6 figures a month. And I'm like, wow. I personally don't like going too much down that route, but all personal preference here. You may not really care and you want to go after that. It does also kind of depend on the niche you're in. Some niches are, I would say, better suited to digital products and some niches aren't. And so my advice would be to go to some of your favorite influencers in your niche and see if you can find a digital product that they're selling. If they've got something that's cheap, buy it, see what it is. If not, just see like what exactly like is the title, like what information are they packaging up and selling, and that will help spark some ideas for you to then get started. Next up is paid communities. This is where you charge a monthly fee for someone to join your community, which has value in itself, and then you might offer different things as well in the community. You can set this up on things like Patreon, on School, Circle, even Discord. And the big pro of this, particularly against any of the other revenue streams, is you can really start to build a somewhat of a stable recurring income every month by just having users paying essentially a subscription fee. What this costs vary depending on who you are, your niche. Some people charge $10, $15. I've seen people charge $100 for a community. Obviously, the more you charge, the more expectation there is going to be within the community for a higher level of service, or maybe there's an expectation that the caliber of people in that community are all a certain level, and so they're actually paying that high ticket price to get access to a network that's high value. The downsides and negatives of a community, I talk about this a lot. This takes a lot of time to get going, to set up, to get people actually into your community and like engaging with each other, and just managing a community is a full-time job. if this is the route that you go down, you probably are going to struggle to do digital products or anything else. I mean, sometimes you can create the digital products and include them in the community, maybe like courses, or maybe you could do like a webinar or like weekly calls, etc. But just to say it again, like, do not underestimate how much time and effort a community takes. You'll get all these people message you, oh yeah, you're just leaving 20K on the table, bro, because you ain't got a paid community. I'm like, boy, shut up. You have never run a community in your life. Sorry, before anyone has no idea what I'm talking about, I get like, and lots of creators get tons of DMs of these people trying to essentially sell themselves as a growth operator where they run the community for you. And, it just runs itself and you make an extra 20K a month because you've got 200, 300 users and you're charging $20, $30. I'm like, bro, you have no idea how to run a community. It is so time consuming. It's stressful. You become all of these different roles. People want your attention. If you really love community and that's you're a people person, you want to be in the middle, community would be great. If, like me, you're not really someone that like that, I like creating content, I like having more of a hands-off approach, I like just delivering high value and working on videos and sort of answering comments and messages sort of in my own time. That's why I don't personally touch that, because I've done a community before. I just didn't have any good experience with it. It wasn't something that I enjoyed doing, so I don't do it anymore. My tips for getting started here would be to just choose a platform first. Patreon might be good because a lot of people use that already that are native to YouTube. I quite like Circle, and yeah, there's a new one called Whoop or WHOP, W-H-O-P, that I like the interface on there, or Discord as well is super simple as well, that people are still using just because that chat messaging UI is just really nice and easy to manage. And then last but not least is B2B services. This is anything from consulting, social media management. You might think about like workshops, public speaking. And the pros of these is money. Businesses pay a lot more money compared to the consumer space. Like consulting, you're looking at, thousands per hour potentially. Same with workshops. Social media management, you could also secure some retainers on a per month basis, charging, $5,000 to manage a business's socials. Like businesses just have so much more money than like a consumer. And so I think this is one of the most lucrative untapped ways that video creators could tap into to make a significant amount of money irrelevant of your size. However, the problem here is you do kind of have to prove your expertise and knowledge and skill set. Like businesses aren't just going to hire you unless you can kind of show your shit and you're good at your shit. And so that might take time as well. I guess it all depends on your background and experience and your level and what exactly you're looking to do. The other issue here is that there comes a different level of pressure when you're working for a business. More money equals more pressure, more stress. You're going to be expected to deliver results and perform, and you might feel like you are just absolutely working yourself into the ground because you've taken on this contract or retainer with a business and you're managing it onside your content and another job, and now you're just working all the time and you're going to burn out, and the business is probably not going to get what they want. They're going to be happy. You're going to feel like shit. You'll get money, but is it worth it? That's what you need to ask yourself. And so my recommendation here in terms of getting started is start thinking about what services that you can offer to business. Start thinking about how much time you have actually got to be able to offer this, and just be upfront with any conversations you've had rather than overcommit yourself. And the best place to get these opportunities and get your name out there is LinkedIn. I've talked about this before in another video. LinkedIn is the biggest opportunity in 2025 for video creators because they've just launched video about 6 months ago and businesses are there. I've been spending a lot more time on there and people are like, you're that guy that does the video editing assets on TikTok. I'm like, that is probably me, yes. And it's weird having people in the business world recognize me for my TikToks, but I'm like, shit, who do you work for? Do you need me to do anything for you? I don't know what opportunities are going to come from LinkedIn, but I know the more I'm there, the more people see what I'm doing and see my skills, my expertise, my knowledge. One day they'll go, we've got this problem and do you know who I think can fix it? Ben can help us fix it, or advise or consult or come in and do something, and they pay money. So start like thinking about what service you could offer, spend some time on LinkedIn. But I think like that might be something that just comes a little bit further on down the line when it comes to content creation. But it could be something that helps you go from part-time to full-time, because if you've got like a full-time job, it might be that you create content and you maybe find some sort of retainer with a client, a small little social media business. You're managing, their socials, etc. And then maybe that could allow you to go part-time because you've got that financial stability with a fixed retainer with a company, and you're managing their social media. And then, you can hopefully quit your job, free up some time, make even more money, and so on and so forth. But before I end the video, there's a lot to take in there, a lot of different revenue streams. Like I said at the start, take your time. You're not going to solve all of this in one evening. You're not going to figure out what's right for you and what's not. And you might actually try some things and try to make money in a certain way and absolutely hate it. You might hate UGC. You might hate brand deals. You might love community. You might actually really be interested in the B2B LinkedIn side. Affiliate marketing actually might also be really lucrative for you because the niche you're in, and there's actually really good opportunity to promote subscription services to businesses that cost a lot of money, and you can take a nice little percentage of that. So I've just spat again. I'm spitting all over this video. But as I said, take your time. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. If you want another video on anything more specific when it comes to revenue streams, let me know. Happy to make that. But other than that, have a nice day, and I will see you soon.